Hello, welcome to the Geekatorium podcast. I mean, I wish we were keeping account on episode numbers, but episode numbers do not matter because what we talk about is the stuff that we have seen. And we are talking about Strange New Worlds. So Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the first two episodes of the new season of that. We're talking about the latest episodes, the last two episodes of X-Men 97. And unbelievably, even though I am a father and I have no time to do anything, I managed to go to the cinema to see Brand New Day. So is Matt. So we actually get to talk about it on this episode. All of that is coming up in the Geekatorium podcast. It's been so long since that's happened on this podcast as well because, so I just don't get to go to the cinema, so I cannot wait to talk about it. The annoying thing is, for the people who are listening, we're not going to start with that, are we?
No, that's not how this works. Come on, you got to hear it at the end.
Because listen, as much as we both love Marvel and we both love the MCU and stuff like that, there's something else that we bonded over first. Something that goes a lot deeper. Something that we both adore, and that is, of course, Star Trek. And since we last spoke, we did our Marvel special of the podcast a couple of weeks ago. I hope you listened to it. But since then, the first two episodes of season 4 of Strange New Worlds were released. What do you think, buddy? What did you think?
So we've got two episodes. One was Jurassic Park in space, and the other one was Event Horizon in space. Event Horizon was already in space, but it's sort of feeling like this season is an homage to classic films.
Well, so there's a whole thing of they did say that before the season starts that they were going to be a bit of genre hopping throughout the season. Sure. Which you can tell from the first two. I also feel like these first two episodes, they went, oh, that's that Geekatorium podcast. There's Rick. There's Matt. Let's do an episode for each of them.
Oh my God. I will say, I've liked both episodes. I did like both episodes. I did feel that episode 2 feels like it should have been an episode 5.
So
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk about that in a second. Let's talk about Valles Marineris, which was the first episode, Jurassic Park in space.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I thought it was a great first episode. I thought it was really fun. Unfortunately, the description spoiled it. When I started the episode, the description already said they find themselves 65 million years in the past. And I was like, oh, okay. And then when it was like, oh, hold on, are they? Oh, wait. And then the reveal, I was like, oh, well, now it's not a surprise because I knew this was coming.
I feel like as well, the trailers where they sort of put the dinosaurs in the trailers and stuff like that. I feel like that was a spoil. I wish they hadn't done that now. I wish that they hadn't put the dinosaurs in the trailers and gone just release the episode, and it would have been sorry, what? That would have been really, really cool. But I feel like they gave too much away now.
I avoided a lot of trailers, so to me it wasn't really ruined. But
I went back to the trailers, and 70% of the trailer was from that first episode alone.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll get into that when we talk Spider-Man later. Like in terms of the trailer for that is only really in the first 20 minutes of that film. But I think people have started to learn how to make a trailer now. But I also think that they are purposefully doing loads of stuff at the beginning so that they can make a trailer out of it, and that you don't need to pick parts from the entire season. I think they have kind of spoiled that in the past. It ended on a cliffhanger season 3. No, season 2. Season 2 ended on the cliffhanger with the Gorn. But then when they show trailers, you're just like, well, everyone survived. Because I know that there's clips from lots of episodes, and you're like, well, I know that person's going to be in that episode, and that person's going to be in that episode. So no stakes. I just know that after, they've learned how to make a better trailer and actually use the trailer to tease, not actually inform. It's a tease.
So let's talk about stakes. You mentioned there's sort of stakes and lack of stakes. I agree with you. That's something I'm going to bring up a little bit later on with the second episode, actually. But let's talk about the stakes of this episode. So they travel back 65 million years, answering a distress call, which turns out to be their own distress call, which they realize in at the end of the episode.
It's fun. It's fun, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff.
It's a typical Star Trek time travel episode. Like how many times have we done this where the Defiant has done it, like answered their own distress signal. The Enterprise has answered. You know, I mean, it's been done so many times. But this time, I love that 65 million years in the past, they come across another sort of spacefaring alien race who are not as advanced as them, and they turn out to be Martians, which is great.
Wicked. It was cool. It was so cool.
Do you know what I love? Like, because obviously, what are Martians known as? Little green men. It was no. Here's a tall ass green woman, and it was like, and she was amazing, by the way.
She was so cool.
She was like. She took on Pike, like in terms of like chewing scenery, in terms of like stealing the show. She was phenomenal, but like so quickly you bought into what she was saying. You know what I mean? You understood like the fear she had for her people against this other alien race. So it was just like she was great, wasn't she? I thought she was amazing.
She was great. I do think. Maybe take back a little bit of what you said, that they weren't as advanced because they could walk through walls.
No, but they didn't have warp technology. That was the thing.
They didn't have warp.
No,
but they could walk through walls.
They could walk through walls. That was I did like that. They just went like waiting in the transporter room, and they were like, no, they're in the hallway already.
They're here. And it was just like, oh, you can't phase through walls.
But remember, they could phase through walls, but they were like also shocked at how advanced the medical treatment was on board the Enterprise and stuff like that. So that's what I mean. Like maybe they were more advanced in that sense, but they weren't advanced in a lot of other senses. So it was
the whole concept, because it's 65 million years in the past. There is so much that you can play with in terms of, and they did, that you can play with in, well, of course, 65 million years later, it's not going to be the same solar system. Yeah. There's so many different things. The fact that I kind of figured that that's what was going to happen was, oh, there's this strange new planet that's in the solar system that's never always been there. So it's like, well, just let it die, because that's what you've got to do. You can't. So
it's so funny because
that was supposed to happened, which is great.
So it was really interesting. It's like after this episode, I was like fifth planet of Sol, and like it's a whole thing. Did you know this? It's actually a whole thing. There's actually a theory that like the asteroid belt that's just beyond Mars was a planet. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
and I was like, I mean, like how scientific that is, but like there's a thing that goes around, like people going like for hundreds of millions or hundreds of years have gone like, yeah, there was a fifth planet. There must have been a fifth planet. There must have been a fifth planet. That's the only explanation. Like the gap between Mars and Jupiter is way too big. Compared to the gaps between the other planets and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. So it's really interesting. So it's like, I love that they kind of played into that in this episode. It's like, I didn't know that beforehand, but now retrospectively, I'm like, oh, that was, so they must have heard that theory. They must have heard that idea and gone, yeah. And then gone like, we'll go with it. And it works. And you're absolutely right. It works. And it does lead to like, this moral quandary, like insane moral quandary of, do you save billions or do you save billions now or save trillions in a future that you're part of? Like it's like letting billions die to let trillions live, and it's insane. But
it's also the other element, which I think I sort of forgot a little bit and then remembered and went, oh my god. The absolute horror that not only did she destroy that planet, but the destruction of that planet is what ruined Mars. So she destroyed two planets, basically.
And killed all the dinosaurs on Earth.
Killed the dinosaurs on Earth, but also killed the spider people that ended up, because remember, they found escape pods and cryo tubes of those people. So because I was just like, well, what, are they going to go to Earth in the future and find these cryopods? No, because the asteroid destroyed them as well. So it all added up and made sense. The equation made sense.
So
it scanned.
There is let's go to that second storyline then, because the main storyline was that whole thing with the Martians and stuff like that in space in the doldrum. And I thought that was really well done. It was a typical sort of Star Trek moral quandary. The idea of like, we can't change the past, but then it's like you're put in a situation where you could save lives and so on and so forth. And I thought that was really cool. But then we had the other side of it. So the other episode was the Una, Ortegas, and Laan going down to Earth, what turns out to be Earth, and encountering dinosaurs, which was kind of cool. Kind of liked it a lot. Beautiful set, beautiful sort of visuals.
Yeah, it looked incredible. It looked
also,
incredible. They got the wonder right as well, like their excitement. It was all
how incredible was the landing sequence in one shot from going from like the CG model to landing and actually exiting it, like, and it looked like it was one shot. That was an incredible shot, by the way. Like it was incredible. And this is one thing I'll say. I'd say like the production values for this season. I mean, it was already high production values and already looked amazing, but this season already like. The first 2 episodes have looked like movies and have felt like they've looked like movies.
100%.
Yeah, which is incredible. So the second part of the story, and the thing is, you would think the second part of the story, I would like the dinosaur bit. I would be like, yeah, I kind of didn't like it. Like I did.
Oh, really?
I did. But I also felt like not a lot happened. It was a lot of them standing around being in wonder, then trying to evade it.
Punched a dinosaur.
Then trying to evade a T-Rex, and then that was kind of it. Like it was like not a huge amount happened, and it was like it felt a little bit disconnected because like they found the crashed spaceship, which was the Doldrum the
Doldrum's cryotubes and all of that.
Yeah, and they'd been obviously shot down by the Martians, landed on Earth, and there was like this whole thing of like, oh, these are the enemy of the Martians, but how do they, like, they're not in the conversation. They're on an away mission. How much were they actually talking about it all and stuff like that? It felt a bit disconnected, and it felt a bit weird that they were having this full conversation as if they were part of what was happening on the ship.
Well, they had the thing with saying, like Ortega saying, you know, yes, they might be seen as like the enemies of the Martians, but like they're just survivors.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like how much do they really know about the Martians to know if the spider people, I know they're called the Doldrum, but I just call them spider people. But how evil are they? Like, but we're told they're evil. They look scary.
No,
so
absolutely.
They must be evil.
And I get that. I just felt a little bit disconnected for that. But one of the things, like, so there's been a lot of chatter online on this episode about the first 2 episodes. We'll get to that second. But the second, again, we're going to talk about the second episode in a second. I just want to finish up on the first episode first of all, because I did love it. I did love it. It's my favorite one so far.
For those that don't know, Rick loves Jurassic Park
so much.
Loves Jurassic.
Honestly,
the games that he's played.
The final shot of them looking over what is essentially Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah.
And look, I'm not going to lie. I was going like, right, this is the Cretaceous period, right? Let's just make sure. Yep, those are Cretaceous period dinosaurs, right? Because Jurassic Park annoys me because it is mainly Cretaceous Park.
I get you.
Most of the dinosaurs
just doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
Yeah. Anyway, there's been one of the things that been sort of mentioned was like, well, this changes Star Trek because obviously in Voyager, the episode Distant Origin has the Voth, who were descendants of hadrosaurs from Earth. Yeah. So the big question is like, how did they get off the planet? It's like they can't have now because they were destroyed. So there's a couple of things I want to address about this because like this kind of annoyed me a little bit.
Geek hats
right?
On.
Okay.
Come on, yeah.
So there's a lot of people like, well, we saw the asteroid hit, and like that would have killed the dinosaurs, and they wouldn't have. Well, no. The asteroid. The theory is the asteroid hit. It still took hundreds of years for the climate to change enough to kill the dinosaurs off, or whatever it was. Like it took. It wasn't an instant death for dinosaurs. Yes, in the blast radius, of course. But for all the dinosaurs over the planet, it took a long time for them to die off from there. It was just that was the starting point, and it just took time from there.
Mexico, right? It landed in Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's nothing to say that in the time that it happened, a couple of hadrosaurs came across that crashed vessel, and
Perfect.
You know what I mean? And like was suddenly
Perfect.
Like there's nothing to say that couldn't have happened. At that point. So there is that. So that criticism kind of annoyed me a little bit because, and it also like as well, the time it took for the planet to explode, and then they were like, you saw the asteroid hit Earth. But I don't think that asteroid was like, I don't think it was that. I think it was like, because Spock was narrating it as it was happening.
It was a holographic recreation.
Exactly.
Not it actually happening.
It actually happening. It's like, this is happening over hundreds of years, whatever, thousands of years. It's slowly going to happen, and this is what's going to happen, and then this is going to happen. So I think a lot of people get sort of like, they watch TV and they think everything is supposed to be at that moment. It's like, no. Star Trek's like explaining that everything's going to happen over hundreds of years. The Voth can still happen. Like the Voth, like as I said, that ship is there. It's not destroyed straight away. That ship is there. A couple of hadrosaurs come across it, somehow accidentally find themselves in it, accidentally manage to take off, and suddenly they're in space and they evolve and blah, 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 blah. We don't know, but that's what could happen, you know? Or even in the time that whatever but the point is, it all makes sense. The Voth is still part of Star Trek. They haven't destroyed anything. So
No. What I liked as well is they didn't commit to one or the other. They did both, where the T-Rex looked like your classic T-Rex, but the Raptors looked like birds. They had feathers. I liked that they kind of appeased both viewpoints of that, or just, you know, making sure that have you ever seen the digital recreation of the T-Rex with feathers?
Oh yeah, look, a chicken. It's a giant chicken.
Yeah,
it's a giant chicken. And it makes it a lot less scary. Like yeah, it's a lot less scary. But
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Have you ever seen, just a little tangent here, have you ever seen like, we get it wrong all the time? Like, there's like, you know, here's a skeleton, and they go like, if you did like what we do for recreating what dinosaurs look like, this skeleton would be extremely fierce, scary animal. This is a modern day animal. It turns out to be a kitten. Like, we do so. We could be wrong about how dinosaurs look completely, but
totally.
Feathers are, I think, definitely something that is. So I'm glad. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm glad that we did that, and of course, Lan punched it in the face, which was like, really good on you. If only Robert Molden had done that.
They also they're setting up
that was
season-long arc, which is going to be her going a bit loopy. Which leads us into episode 2.
The Khan gene activates. So let's talk about episode 2.
Yes, just quickly, because I still want to throw in my prediction. That I've said before. I've said it before, and I just kind of want to reiterate it again. I still feel that they did that whole setup with La'an going back in time in that previous season. Like, she went back in time. She was like with the temporal police or whoever they were. And I still feel that what's going to happen is she's going to be recruited by that team. And in order for that to happen, everyone's going to forget that she ever existed.
Oh, 100%. I think she's gone by the end of the episode, end of the season. Absolutely agree with that.
She won't be in season 5. She won't be in season 5.
And I think she has to be for that character. Like, as you said, it's like for Kirk to actually have the shock reveal of Khan and stuff like that. Like, to have the relationship. Like, it has to happen. So I think...
Yeah, because you can't change Wrath of Khan and just went like, hey, didn't you know the granddaughter?
No.
Didn't you?
He.
Isn't this a busted song?
Yeah, I was going to say, great. No, he busted. That was exactly that. So no, but let's talk about episode 2 was
the Griffin incident.
I am going to, first of all, I am going to put this out here. My biggest criticism of this episode is that it should have had an advisory warning before it. It should have.
I kind of get what you mean, because it was intense. It was like...
It was a horror.
Horrific.
It was a full-blown body gore horror. It should have had... I was sitting watching with my wife, Bernie, and 10 minutes in, I was like, I've got a bad feeling about this. I was all full Han Solo. And I was just like, I paused it and I went, all right, listen, I'm checking in with you right now. I know you don't like horror. This is a horror. I can already tell this is a horror. We can stop this right now and you don't have to watch it. No, it's Star Trek. I'll watch it. 5 minutes later, I pause it again. We're stopping this. And she went, yeah.
It was really?
Yeah. And then I watched the full episode by myself. And I went back to her and I went, yeah, you would not have handled that.
It really, yeah. No, well, we'll talk about it very quickly now. The fingers.
The fingers,
Pike's fingers,
the ears.
The ears wasn't as bad because as soon as it happened, I went, "Oh yeah, forgot his blood's green."
Yeah.
So it really wasn't as horrifying as it could have been.
The fingers.
But the fingers. Well, he just kept going. He just kept going.
And floating in space, in amongst them, Sam Kirk, like.
Oh no! He got fully Alien Resurrectioned.
Yeah,
like that's. I don't know if you've seen Alien Resurrection, but that happens in Alien Resurrection, where
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think as I say, my biggest criticism is that they should have had a content warning. I do think for Star Trek, it might have been overly gory, like for Star Trek. Like
I know what you mean. I know, and this is coming from like Voyager actually did have scenes from Event Horizon in an episode.
Voyager had Tom Paris rip out his own tongue in Threshold.
Yeah.
It's not as if Star Trek hasn't done body horror before, but I don't think it's ever done it because of today's technology and the way it's like 90s television when they did it. It's like, I can deal with this. It's 90s television. But with this was Event Horizon. It
was real.
Alien.
Like it looked real.
Yeah, it looked
like when he cut his fingers, it looked real. It was.
And that was my biggest problem. But that aside, and you know how I feel about horror. You know how I with it. Yeah. I thought this episode was great because once you stripped aside the gore and once you stripped aside, like one thing that I will say, there wasn't any jump scares. There wasn't. It was a psychological horror, which I actually like psychological horrors more than jump scare horrors. I think like psychological ones are more interesting because what they do, and like as soon as I got to the end of the episode, I was like, that's why you used this genre for this particular story because it is a brilliant way of analyzing characters and their flaws and their fears and how far you can push them before they go over the edge. And since this story was really focused on La'an and Kirk and Spock, of course, but really on La'an, it did take her to that point of, like, as you say, at the end of the last episode, it's setting her up for that sort of dark path, the Khan dark path. Yeah. It really sort of went, this is how dark she can go. Like she is willing, like that's like, and of all the things, like, look, stabbing Kirk, and I'll get to that in a second. I've got feelings about that. Stabbing Kirk was nothing compared to what she did to the hallucination of Ortegas in the transporter.
Oh yeah, beaming her into herself.
That I mean, obviously, well, so this is the thing. Like some people have brought up the motion picture and gone like, oh, that's the motion picture was an accident. Like I can accept it was an accident. Like when Uhura was like, you tried to beam her into her. I was like it was like I like almost vomited. I was like, it was like, that's horrible. That's dark. That is insane. And
it's not a pleasant thought. Like, because going back to the motion picture where they say whatever this materialized didn't survive long, thankfully. Like it was awful. I mean, we still don't really know. Like, it didn't resolve.
No, this is an interesting one because
this happened. We don't know what's going on.
I believe this is must be like one of the first Star Trek stories where they haven't resolved it at the end or given us an explanation. I think there have been a couple.
I feel like it will come back to it. So because we've seen that the
Division 12,
well, there's Division 12. Then they're referencing it so much that it's going to happen. But also when you see the medical officer or whoever she was, the science officer or whatever, going like at the window.
Security officer, yes, security
officer. But just her at the end it's showing that it's like this isn't over.
But then I feel like it's done. I feel like as well, like people are like, it's episode 2, and they're like, like there's people complaining like on like unresolved mystery. This is terrible. I'm like, did you not watch last season? Yeah. Like, did you not watch last season? Like they set stuff up in the second episode that didn't get answered until much later into the season. Like there was a lot of stuff that happened early on in the season. It's a show that does like. I know that this Strange New World is more of a return to episodic storytelling. That, you know, of TNG and Voyager ilk. It still does have some serialization to it. It still has an ongoing, like the Gorn storyline of season 2. Like it does have ongoing. So the ongoing story, this one, is Lan. Like, that is going to be the ongoing story. So, like, I don't understand why people are like, there's no explanations. This is not true Star Trek. It's like, there'll be an explanation. Just wait.
Yeah, we'll get there. Just
wait. There will be one.
Listen, we have no explanation for the bug people in season 1 of TNG.
Yeah.
We still have no explanation to that. So come on.
The thing is as well, like, the reason that we haven't had we didn't get an explanation in this episode is because of the genre that they were using to tell the story. A horror works better when you don't know why it all happened, because it makes it even more horrific. Like
most horror films that tell you what's going on, you go, "Oh, is that it? Oh, I don't like that."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Really good psychological horror films. Really, The Shining. I'm sorry, but like, The Shining is like Do we know what The Shining is? We know it's some sort of like mental power thing, but we don't really know where it comes from or what it does or what it is and how it all works.
The Shining is what the boy had, though. Yeah. We still don't know really why Jack went crazy.
Exactly. So
we still don't know.
Does that take away from how good that film is? No. And it's the same situation here. Like, do we know what happened on the Griffin exactly? No. What we know is the security officer went crazy, killed everybody. Like that bit in the sickbay when Spock actually breaks his the hold on him, and he sees sickbay as ruined with like how it actually is supposed to look. Yeah. Like
it's horrible.
Yeah.
The bit when he finds out and they said, oh yeah, like 8 strangulations, 22 stabbings, and 280 people beamed into space while still alive. Like, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
On a spaceship.
So how do you explain that happening? You know what I mean? How do you explain the science behind that? The fact that they've left it as a hanging thread, I think is a lot better. And to have that episode ender where it's like, and as I say, it's the same as the guy in the guy that was set up to be the medical Mbenga's.
Yes. Yeah, he gets killed, but then becomes the villain at the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's that again. That's all it is. That's all it is. Have a little bit of have a bit of patience. It's going to be answered.
But I still think that the idea that it was a 3-hander episode, it was those 3 characters. I just sort of felt that I'd have liked to have broken into the season a little bit more, get into a bit of stride before we do like a kind of bottle-y kind of episode.
I get that. You're right.
Episode 2, it felt a little bit like, oh, we're already doing an episode like this. Like I thought we might get into a bit more of like where everyone's at. We haven't really reached that thing of where is everyone like this season? How is everyone feeling? What's going on? It's like really thrown in whilst running, and I'm kind of stumbling a bit because I haven't quite got my footing yet.
I think this is a problem with like the shorter seasons of the show, because bottle episodes were designed to fill out 24 episodes in a season. They weren't. That's all they were. They were filler. But then they took the time to tell some amazing stories.
And just character development. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. So you're right. You're right. It should have been sort of a couple
even
more
a
episodes.
Third episode. I just feel like episode 2, it felt a bit soon to be doing an episode like that. But you know what? I don't write for Hollywood, so.
So my other criticism of it though as well, like so. Big one for me was the bit too gory, should have had an advisory on it. So this is a legacy show with legacy characters. And with a lot of them, so we know where Pike's story is going to end. But what's quite I'm kind of invested in it because we don't know anything else about Pike. Apart from he was captain of the Enterprise before Kirk, he ends up with a beeping wheelchair. That's really all we ever knew about him. We didn't see his story, his Starfleet story, and this is Strange New Worlds is giving us a chance to see that. Same with Una, number 1. We never really, she was in the cage. That was it. All right.
Yeah, no, we didn't know that she was like, what is it, Illyrian or something?
Yeah, exactly. None of that. So that's fine, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Like on one hand, I like seeing Uhura and Scotty and Kirk and Spock being brought together and seeing their very early career before they take over the Enterprise. But the problem with them, the sort of the legacy side of things, is that so I'm really invested in the characters that have no background, or we have very little background on them. So your Pike, your Una, your Laan, your Ortegas, Mbenga. I'm really invested with them. Even Chapel to a degree as well, because Chapel was a sort of more of a side character. Anyway.
Yeah, she wasn't a recurring character.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But with Kirk and Spock especially, when something happens to them, like it's like, especially in this episode, like Kirk gets stabbed, but I'm like, okay.
Yeah, well, no, of course he's not going to die.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, okay, there's no massive jeopardy with their characters. When they're put into a situation where it's like something bad could happen, I'm like, well, bad's gonna happen to those two. Like,
yeah.
So it kind of removes the danger from me. So like they try to build up. Oh no, they're in danger. No, they're not.
No, they're not. The one time they used this sort of thing really well was at the end of Discovery Season 2, where Pike was like, I've got a plan. And they're like, no, we'll die. And he's just like, no, I've seen how I die.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to do is going to work.
Yeah. And that's fine. So that's fine. And that's fine with that. But with this one, they can't do that because these guys don't know where they're ending up. They're still...
No, exactly. No, yeah.
So like, whilst I am enjoying like a lot of it, what's happening with them, I am... Because like, this one, like, so what was good in this episode? So we had Kirk. It was all about David, his relationship with David, and this is another one that's annoyed me, right? So a lot of chatter I've read online. Kirk didn't actually know about David, so how could he? It's like, no, he did.
Yes, he did. He did. He said, "This is David." When he met him, he went, "This is David." Like he knew.
I stayed away. You told me to stay away. Exactly, knew. So like, yeah. So. Because we knew that there was going to be with that, it was good to see. I get it, like, and also seeing like for example, the conference. He chose the conference over spending time with David.
Yeah.
There's conversation with Sam, that Sam actually dedicates time to his family and Jim doesn't. And there's that bit of sort of like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could be like you, Sam, and stuff like that. That was kind of good. I liked that. But then when it came to the end and Uhura was like, I've set up this long distance call to make sure that you can have some time, and then he chooses not to go through with it. I'm like, well, we knew that was going to happen. Does that make sense?
No, I thought he did. I thought he was calling and she wasn't answering.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, did I get it wrong?
I thought that's what was going on.
I might have got that wrong. Anyway, the point, I might have got that wrong. So I apologize if I got that wrong. But the point,
I don't know which one of us is right now. Yeah. I have no idea.
But just to pull it back, like, I think like the part of it was really well done. Like, but the other part of it was like, well, we know how this story is. Saying that, Laan turning around and saying, your boy's going to die on the end
of a blade. Oh. How right you are, Missy.
That was so chilling. So, yeah, part of it, like, I think it was a good time to sort of, it's interesting to do stuff, but I wasn't as emotionally invested because I'm like, well, I know where Kirk's going. It's like the Spock one was a little bit more different, though, because there's been a bit of criticism, I feel like I've seen, that Spock's been too much of a Lothario. Like working his way. Now, no, but the thing is,
I disagree. So I think it's right. For me, it works. For me,
no. I'm not saying that. This is not my personal view. This is what I've read and seen.
Oh yeah, no. It's okay. I know who my enemies are.
My thing was like, he very much, I believe, like, it was to Chapel. He said he wanted to explore his human side more, and that's what he's been doing for like a season and a half now, is exploring his human side more than his Vulcan side. This episode, like, because obviously he broke the thrall or whatever it was that was going on by sort of reverting back to Vulcan logic and like being like logical and
yeah, his like prayer or something.
Yeah,
mantra. Yeah,
and then of course when Chapel came to sort of, we've repaired your ears, blah, 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 blah. And he was just very much like, yeah, logic saved me. And it's like, okay, so this is the point now. So are we now about to get our more logical Spock?
Well, they kind
forward?
They have to do it. The musical episode, sorry to go back to that, but the musical episode, the breakup that he has with Chapel, like the whole crux of his song is like his song after they sort of break up. the crux of his song is "I will only do logic." So he kind of already decided that, but it was in a musical episode, so I guess it didn't count as much. But
because it didn't count as much when the follow-up was, well, I'm going to hook up with Laan.
Yeah, but that was a time when Laan was a lot more emotionally distant and probably more suited to him, but she's become a little bit more carefree now, which is probably not what he wants, but he's,
But my feeling is that this episode, or this season anyway, like moving forward now, is going to be that turning point where we're now going to be closer to the Spock that we see in original series than we have right now. So
we are getting to that point. Again, but I think that what's going to happen, as I've said, they're all going to forget who Laan is, so he's not going to remember the relationship and what he's learned from the relationship. So I don't know quite where things are going, but this is just my own theory about what's going to happen. I could be proven very wrong. Just like that Spock always knew he had a sister. He just never talked about her because it was a direct order from like Section 31. So who knows?
But first 2 episodes, thumbs up.
I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season. So 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. The next one's a vacation episode. So, Riza, please.
Vacation episode, 2 episodes in. See, that feels too soon.
Again, 10 episodes. This is the problem. 10 episodes.
That feels like an episode 6 or 7.
Which ironically, like, we as Brits are complaining about short seasons of things. Is that joke in The Good Place, isn't it? This is the BBC's best longest running show, 30 years, almost 12 episodes.
It's true.
Shall we head into Marvel?
So let's put on our Marvel trousers. Come on then. All right.
Yep, well, the T-shirt's already here, so we're good.
I've sadly miscalculated. For our listeners, I'm wearing a Joker T-shirt, so I got this very wrong today. I've got this very wrong. Just imagine it's a Wolverine shirt. I don't know.
You know what I'm really enjoying about this season, about X-Men 97?
Yeah.
Not only does it look like X-Men, obviously the animation style is very much the same.
Yeah.
The voice acting is pretty much 90s voice acting.
The melodrama,
all of it. But it is like, it's all over the top, which I love. But then they also have like these stories that are not massively they're treating it like they are doing 24 episodes in a season. Yeah. And so they do have these tangential episodes where they go like, hey, let's have the Danger Room come to life.
It's quite a different version of the holodeck malfunction. It's quite different.
And why has it come to life? Because Xavier needed some therapy.
So I looked into this. It has happened in the
comics.
I know
that. Yeah,
I've not read it, but it has happened, and it's apparently one of Professor X's darkest moments, where he knew it was becoming sentient, but he still put it through the torture of torturing his students, against its will, kind of thing. But they didn't really dive into that in this episode. They just made it an evil room.
But then, that's so 90s, such a 90s storyline, and it was great. I thought it was. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because it just felt like, considering like the previous episodes that we talked about and stuff like that, it felt like we needed this. We needed just a basic, let's beat something up.
Let's beat something up. I mean, and also let's make it look like the scary Silver Woman from the end of Superman 3. So that we can also like exercise some past trauma.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, I really enjoyed that episode. I thought it was really, really good.
It was silly. It was fun. It was, and it was good for Polaris.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, the daughter of Magneto and all of that sort of stuff. It does set up, because we've got into the next episode. Now we've got X Corp, which I'm not thrilled with, to be honest. But I feel like what it is, I think we are, the rumor is we're going to get Onslaught in this season. That Magneto's mind is in Charles's mind, and they're going to have a combination. And I think this X-Corp situation is more Magneto doing things and influencing Charles. I don't think Charles on his own would do what he's doing at the moment.
No.
I think this is more like a Magneto element that's masquerading as Charles.
Oh, 100% agree with that. Because I'm watching it going like, it all feels off in terms of like the stuff that he says and the stuff that is being done.
Well, when they left the guy in the snow and they went, we found him all alone in the Arctic, and he's like, yes, but alive. It's like, that sounds like something Magneto would say.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm with you on that. So great, that episode, loved that one. My God, the ending though, the resurrection.
Oh yes, well, it's. I told you that
you did. You did.
It was going to be Gambit.
But
I love the tarot cards and everything.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah. Really, really cool. But then the next episode, I again like the next episode. And also it felt like another one that was like, what is this doing for the story? Not a huge amount. But again, really good side tangent. The trial.
It's building the world more though. Like we've got these different factions of X-Men, X-Force, and X-Factor. We've got all of these different factions, and it's really cool world building.
It really is. It really is.
The whole thing with like it's Creed and Mystique's son. Like great character development for him, and it's actually all about that he was never. He couldn't be a mutant, so that's why he hates mutants.
Yeah.
It's a great sort of story beat. It's like, this is why humans are jealous of mutants. They don't hate mutants. They're jealous of mutants.
Yeah.
They'd rather them die than them feel inferior against them. And it's a fascinating conversation.
Exactly. No, I thought it was really, really well done. I thought Nightcrawler was just so good in that episode as well.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I love Nightcrawler and everything.
He steals it when he gets a moment to really shine.
Yeah.
He really does. Like, he steals it.
So no, that was really good. But no, and I think the key thing is you just said there. It's another. It was a tangential episode. It doesn't feel like it. If you look at the wider story, how does it serve the wider story? Not a huge amount, but it's that world building. I love that this show is just having like, it's just, I'm just going to do this now. Like it's never going to be cancelled. Like it's just acting as this, like, we're just going to keep doing this as long we want. Like, you know, so many shows will write each season nowadays to be like, this is a final season or this is whatever, we've got to be careful not to whatever, whereas this show is just going like, no, we're just going to keep writing, we're just going to keep doing it, we're just going to build this, we're going to build it and build it and build it and build it.
It's going to have to be X-Men 98 at some point. Like it can't be 1997 forever. This isn't the Simpsons.
I love every time they reference that they have to go back to the 90s or it's the 90s.
It's so funny.
I get, it's really funny, and then I get a little bit sad because I remember how good the 90s were.
Yeah. The toys were the best in the 90s.
I genuinely think, like, I know it's nostalgia bait, member berries, but
it's great. They taste delicious.
They
taste delicious.
The Jurassic Park toys I had.
But yeah, X-Men 97 is continuing to the thing that I'm actually surprised with. I don't recall when Bodemayo was brought back.
No, neither do I.
Now he got fired.
Yeah,
and then I'm seeing his name all over the credits on this season.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
I don't know when he was accepted back into the fold because he felt like he was burning quite a lot of bridges when he was let go. So I don't know what they figured out, but well done, because he did such good work in that first season. He had to continue this story. He did.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
if you look at
what's going on.
There is the Rise of Apocalypse. He wrote both parts of them, and the Danger Room one and this one as well. Also, but just before we sort of move on to Brand New Day, the ending of this episode, discovering Apocalypse's corpse.
Oh yeah. So what the hell's going on with that? All right. Okay.
He's just resurrected Gambit. Boom.
Or because what was going on in the future? Do you remember what was happening in the future? They were going to use Cable as a new body for him. So has he just moved to another body, and that's his old body that he's left behind?
Good point. Could be that. Could be that.
So I don't know if he's died or if he's just moved on. I don't think he's moved on to Gambit.
No.
Or maybe he has, and that's an even more fucked proposition. But I don't think Gambit's powerful enough for him to want to inhabit him.
No.
So I don't know quite what's going on, but I feel like that's what it is. I don't know if he's actually dead, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Because he's in the future. He's in the future, so I don't know.
We've been wrong before. It won't be the first time. It won't be the last time.
I've eaten chili soup before. Yes.
Oh,
Batfleck. When I said that Ben Affleck would never return, and then he came back twice.
Let's talk Brand New Day.
Yes.
Best
the most Spider-Man
movie
that Spider-Man has ever Spider-Maned.
So good. So good. I loved it.
Do you know what was really funny? You know, the opening montage. So everyone, there's going to be spoilers. We are going to talk spoilers.
Yeah.
We're not going to do a little preamble that's non-spoiler.
Listen, this part of the podcast is not small potatoes, okay? This
is very big potato. But the opening montage, the thing that made me laugh was the audience reaction. Because in the trailers, you know, there's that moment where Spider-Man is jumping to fight the hand outside.
And there was so many people like circling here and here. There's clearly Daredevil and someone else here.
It's going to be this. And then when that scene passed, you heard people in the audience go, "Oh,
yeah." It was just a montage. It was just a montage, giving us some of the most iconic comic covers, which is awesome.
Yes.
Loved the way they did it.
Yes.
Also,
lack of Tombstone, he looked great.
He looked so good.
So I do hope that maybe there's a little element of him, or maybe a TV appearance. I just think he looked great.
There's something that I want to say that you said about another Marvel franchise, another Marvel movie.
Okay.
It feels like there's another movie that happened before this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it did. It was No Way Home, but
no. There was a movie with Punisher and Spider-Man that we never got to see. But honestly, like, I never thought it would be that good between those two. On like how like it was perfect. Like it was
good chemistry.
Great really chemistry. They do. Really well written. It was because like it was obviously Peter Parker's been searching for like the new father figure in his life. Who would have thought it would have been Frank Castle? Like honestly, because and it was crazy because like what Castle did was like he's a psycho and he's mad and he does everything that Peter Parker thinks is wrong. You know, he does that, but he trusts him because he knows he's doing what he is. He's driven by a fucked up but a moral code. But then he also like has this weird respect for him because he knows that like the fact that he turns up to fight the Hulk and he's like, no, I'm helping you. Like
he's helping him until he says, "You do this, you do this." Like, are you just saying that because you don't want to fight the Hulk? Maybe.
Yeah. But the whole point is, like, it's insane. Like this weird, like to go from like him pining over Tony Stark, both alive and dead Tony Stark, to this weird sort of relationship he has with Frank Castle was like, this felt real. It felt really well done. And it felt like I just enjoyed it a lot. And now I need an 8-episode miniseries of those two.
Yeah. The thing is, I feel like they would all be up for that, except for Sony and Marvel would not be able to.
Oh, no. I know.
They wouldn't. And it's such a shame. Maybe as an, like, could you get away with it being an animated, like, what if style show?
It'd be so good though. Could you imagine?
That would be a really cool thing. Or, you know, because John Bernthal, like, he wrote One Last Kill. I don't know if you watched One Last Kill, but like he wrote that.
Yeah.
So I feel like he could easily write something for Spider-Man and the Staten Island incident. Like, there absolutely could be that. But yeah, no, the chemistry between them was great. That final scene with them, like, are you crying and all that, just, it absolutely, like, it was such a great cap to the end of that whole sequence. It was a great way to sort of finish that before we got to the actual prologue proper.
Yeah.
I just really liked that little capper.
One thing that I really loved about this film But before I go into that one thing that I really loved about this film, the other thing I want to say as well is, so like people were like ripping apart the trailer and all the theories and everything like that. But what do you remember how angry people got about this shot of Peter Parker's eye
inside his eye?
Yeah. The camera couldn't be. Shut up! It's an artistic choice. But what do you know? This for me was like, this shows you how effective editing is, right? Because in the trailer, where they presented it was like at that moment where he dives off after having seen the TikTok of whatever of MJ and Ned, and he's like, whatever. And everyone was like, look, it shows how sad he is and and like how lonely he is. But in the movie, it doesn't happen at that point. It happens just.
He gets a crime report thing.
Yeah, and it just happens. It just happens. You get the shot. But then you realize later on, the shot's not there. So the shot's not there to show you how empty he feels inside. It's to show you that later on, when his eyes get black and he becomes like fully arachnid and stuff like that, that's what it was there for. And I was like, oh, that's so good. Like,
I think it was also to show that he still has a HUD. Because it was reflecting in his eyes to let you know that he's still got like a computer going on.
Yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful shot. I loved it. But when they showed the shot later on and his eyes turned black, it was just like, oh. It was like a moment. Because the first shot was him, eye, HUD. It's Peter Parker, it's Spider-Man. But when his eyes go black, you're just like, what has happened here? Like, this is like, we knew something. We knew it was the arachnid DNA, but it's like lock in. It's essentially what that stuff was. And it just
his eyes went spider black. That's like an actual spider.
And it just shows you like sort of what editing is, how good editing can be to use shots to convey different emotions at different times. But anyway, what I really loved about this movie is that they didn't take the easy way out of it. Right? The easy way would have been fixing the issue with Ned and MJ and their memories in the first half an hour.
Yeah, okay.
That would have been the easy thing to do. Like, and I think there's definitely, from what I've seen online, there was definitely a contingent of people who wanted that to happen, and are disappointed it didn't happen.
It's not a fairy tale.
It's not a fairy tale. It tells a more compelling story. Like the fact that like MJ is like, I have literally zero memory of you. Which is a lie from her side. It's a truth from her side, but clearly there are still memories in there because Jean Grey tapped into them to be able to fool him.
No. She knew that she read the letter. That's how she knew all that information. Because she said, there's no memories of you at all in here. She said that to him. She says, there's no memories.
But is she saying?
She knows it all because she read the letter.
Are we sure of that? Or are we sure she's not saying that to taunt Peter, though? That's the thing.
Maybe, but she does give him the letter. That's why he has it on him when he's at Frank's. But she's read the letter and she's saying there's no memories. And she does seem to say that. And also, the thing is, Jean isn't magic. She's a mutant. She's not magic. The spell that's on everyone is magic. It's not a thing that can be unlocked in the brain, I don't think. It's like at the end, if we're going to go like skipping just a
we are going to skip to that, Ned.
To the handshake, he's not saying Peter because he remembers Peter. He's saying Peter because he realized that MJ called Spider-Man Peter. So he's put two and two together and gone, Peter, you're Spider-Man. That's what. Are
you sure? So this is Inception.
That's what I think. It's ambiguous, but that's what I think.
This is an Inception ending, isn't it? With the wobble.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly that.
Because the way I read it was that because he did the handshake. Now, obviously, that's muscle memory. But like also for him, because Peter is just a random could he? Was it that? Peter and then goes like Peter, like, you know, like it's your Spider-Man, that thing he's talking about. But ultimately as well, it could be Peter because he's the spell is broken on Ned. Bearing in mind in No Way Home, the whole conversation was around Ned's family magic.
Well, yes, no, this is where I can accept it because Ned, it's been proven that he has magic capabilities. So yes, I can accept if that is what's happened. That's totally fine. The fact it didn't happen with MJ, I don't think Jean Grey has anything to do with unlocking any memories. I just because she's not magic, she's a mutant.
Fair.
So,
But I think the Ned
yeah.
one. I think the Ned one. I think he might be. I think he might have remembered. I think he has.
It's very possible, like because including the fact that he has magic
capabilities.
That's proven. That is. But I do think it's him putting two and two together when he goes like, Spider-Man's name is Peter, and then he meets a guy that he's met before at his Spider-Man wall, and he's going, "I'm Peter." I think that's what's going on there.
I guess we'll find out. Hopefully in Doomsday. Yeah. No, probably won't be in Doomsday.
I don't even think we'll find out in Doomsday. It'll be whatever the next first new day or whatever it's going to call. Spider-Man My Last Day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously there's the Spidey trackers found a Spider-Man in space, Spidey in space. So
now is that another one, or because I thought it said location unknown and then it's like location known. So I wonder, has he been taken to space? Or is there another one in space? I felt it was like he'd been tated to space. I didn't feel like it was another one in space. Lots of people are taking it as there's another one.
Bear in mind, we are dealing with like sort of as much as Marvel had to sort of ditch the main multiverse storyline that it was building up to with Kang, it's still leaning into it because but Doctor Doom's obviously going to be the sort of thing that brings it all together, because obviously Fantastic Four are coming from their universe. I think the X-Men I think are going to be coming. Well, obviously Jean Grey's in this reality. We've had the tease in the Marvels of the X-Men in another reality with Monica Rambeau. So which X-Men?
She wasn't announced in the cast, by the way.
Honestly, right, okay, I'm gonna get my high horse. Like, I like the Marvels. I like Miss Marvel. I like Captain Marvel. I like Monica Rambeau. I like that movie. I've liked Captain Marvel movies. I
love the Miss Marvel series. I thought that
Miss Marvel series. I just don't understand why they've been pushed to the side. I do know why they've been pushed to the side, because of like the problem with the MCU now is it's so long in the tooth. It has to play to its base. It's also the other thing as well.
Sucks.
It also has to. Gen Z are not watching superhero movies. Right? That's come out from Hollywood. Like Gen Z, like Studio X, like Gen Z are not watching. They're watching computer game adaptations because that's what they were brought up on. Superhero movies are predominantly millennials, which are a certain age and so on and so forth, and Gen X and. Unfortunately, as has always happened in this space, we have some very loud people on a very toxic side of things, who shout louder than the people who just go, "Oh, I've enjoyed that." And this is the thing that people forget, listen, you and I have both worked customer service. We've both worked in retail, and someone who is happy with service is not as likely to say it as someone who is unhappy what's happened. We know that someone who is unhappy will not only just tell you to your face that they're unhappy, they'll then ask for the manager, and then they'll post it online and tell a bunch of people that how unhappy they are. Someone
Google
who's
reviews, all of that stuff.
Someone who's happy with what's happened will go, "Thank you very much," and then go about their day, right? And that is it. And the same thing happened in this space, whether it's Star Trek, Marvel, Star Wars, whatever. The people who just enjoy stuff tend to go, "I've enjoyed this, I'm going to move on." And they tend to be more casual. Like they're more casual fans. They're not like you and me, where we break down and analyze every little bits and pieces and stuff like that. But then what there is the loudest people in the fandom are the angry ones, the ones who go like, you've race swapped this character, how dare you? Or this person should be a girl and da-da-da, or shouldn't be a girl and da-da. And unfortunately, they're the loudest. And Marvel now has to play it safe because it's not attracting in new audiences. It's not. It's playing to a small base, and it's trying to keep that base coming in. So unfortunately, the stories don't take as much. They can't take as massive swings and risks.
No, I mean it's like things like She-Hulk. Like I really like.
You and I both loved She-Hulk.
Yeah, it's like that. I actually do understand why people wouldn't like She-Hulk.
Yeah,
I like that humor. I like comedy. I like off the wall stuff. I like winks to the camera and everything like that. I like a fucking giant robot camera with a Kevin Feige baseball cap on it. I love that stuff.
We're not normal nerds.
No, this is true. This is true. All normal people, full stop.
Well, there's that as well. Yeah.
But it is a shame that these things, as you say, the big swings, they don't always hit. I guess in some ways, like Eternals, that was a big swing.
Yeah, and do you know what Eternals
didn't set either of us alight. I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was bad. I just was a bit bored by it.
That was Eternals' biggest sin, was that it was a bit boring, and that's unfortunately, like, maybe at the beginning of the MCU they could have gone, okay, that didn't quite work. Give you a big example, Thor, right?
Yeah.
The first Thor movie, it's good. It's fine.
It's good. No, I really like the first.
But if you compare it to the other movies at the time, like Iron Man, it wasn't
as strong as Iron Man or Captain America. Some people didn't like Captain America.
Exactly. Like,
I loved Captain America: The First Avenger. I prefer over Winter Soldier. I'm in the minority of that.
But they knew they were working towards Avengers, so they had to do what they were going to do. And then Dark World, swing and a miss. Okay, we accept that.
But that wasn't even a swing, as you say. It was boring. It was
it was boring.
Nothing villain. It wasn't a swing. It
was
dull.
It was dull. It was dull. But then you had Winter Soldier, fantastic, like just phenomenal.
I do think it's good. I just prefer First Avenger.
No, I know. But the point is, it's like, so early on, they could risk having boring movies, swings and misses. They could experiment. Guardians of the Galaxy, like after big swing, right? All of these things, they could do that. But now we're at a stage where they can't, because they have to try and keep the audience happy to keep them within. So when something doesn't do well, so Eternals being a bit boring, She-Hulk backlash, Miss Marvel not quite biting and people backlash again, the Marvels not doing well. When that Love and Thunder, like when all of that happens,
Love and Thunder's biggest problem was trying to be Ragnarok 2.
Exactly.
That was the biggest problem.
When all of that happens, then unfortunately, like what we're seeing is like a homogenization of MCU. However, that being said, Brand New Day was the same director as Shang-Chi, I believe.
Same director as Shang-Chi and same like showrunner and director of Wonder Man.
Now, and Brand New Day felt different. Like it felt different. Yeah. It looked different and it felt different to sort of previous MCU. Fantastic Four looked and felt different to previous MCU. Thunderbolts looked and felt different to previous MCU.
Yeah.
And actually Thunderbolts was probably the one that was closest to previous MCU installments, but it also still managed to feel. If those three are now like, I have a feeling like if those three become our template moving forward to what the next stage of the MCU looks like, I'm all for it, because it feels, I don't know, there's something more grounded about it, but at the same time, I don't know, it just felt really good. I really enjoyed it. It felt fresh.
One of my biggest, it's not really a criticism, but it's an observation where I've gone, oh, the last three like big MCU movies, Thunderbolts,
Fantastic Four.
Well, I was going to say Brave New World.
Oh, yeah.
Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and Spider-Man have all ended with a conversation or something defeating the villain.
Yeah. This is very true. This is very, very true.
Which I don't. It's not, as I say, it's not a criticism, but it is a bit. Oh, I'm not sure. It's not that I don't like it. I just a bit disappointed by that.
I'm sure we'll get our proper beat 'em up soon.
It's not even about like a beat 'em up or something like that, but it's the fact that it is just. I guess Thunderbolts. It wasn't so much a conversation; it was a group hug. But Brave New World was also Brave New World, Brand New Day. This is going to get confusing in terms of the titles. But it was just a conversation with Red Hulk that turned him back, and it was a conversation with Jean, but it wasn't like a conversation with Peter and Jean. It was more a conversation with May and Jean, that Jean got to have a mother for a moment, and that's all she needed. That's all she really needed was a mum. So,
yeah, and I think it's because the MCU hasn't had a bad guy, if that
Oh,
makes sense.
spoilers, by the way. Jean Grey's in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, you did say spoilers earlier on, so don't worry.
I know, but it's just like we hadn't mentioned Jean Grey. Now here we are talking about a casual. Like,
I think, like, yeah, the MC, like, if you, yeah, so Fantastic Four had Galactus, so that was.
Yeah, you can't have a conversation with him.
They tried. They did try.
They did try. They can't say they didn't try. Yeah. Actually, a conversation with Silver Surfer was more the thing that happened there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what helped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So we haven't had. You're right. I mean, we haven't had like a mass. The bad guys recently have been like Jean Grey wasn't bad. She was just trying to save. Whatever.
And the Void wasn't really bad, obviously.
Wasn't bad, yeah.
Just needed a hug.
Yeah. And what else?
Red Hulk just needed to speak to his daughter.
Yeah. So we haven't really had like, but then Leader was there, so that was the bad guy.
Oh yeah, Leader was the bad guy.
Yeah. So
he talked himself into prison, didn't he?
He talked himself. He talked himself into prison. Then he talked Red Hulk into being Red Hulk, and then he talked. No, it's like it's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking, not enough fighty. The whole thing with Peter creating the potential mutant inhibitors is rather interesting, though kind of already done. It's like he didn't really invent inhibitors. No, because if they stuck one on Scarlet Witch,
at the end of Civil War, like she had one of those on her then. So,
exactly.
Although maybe it was just drugging her so that she couldn't really do anything. Who knows? Maybe it was a sedation collar.
I hope they find a way of bringing her back. They should.
Well, we've got the Vision Quest coming soon,
and apparently they're saying that is the trilogy. It is WandaVision,
WandaVision, Agatha all along. It's got to be Vision meeting both of his kids in the real world, like because he hasn't actually met the kids. Only his facsimile met his kids. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
When
that happens.
And I think I'm gonna be doing a rewatch of those two series, especially Agatha. Loved Agatha.
Agatha was a great series. The twist in it was wonderful. It was so good.
Brand new day. We're happy with it.
Very, very happy with it. I'm going to, because they've now announced that they're actually going to release it in IMAX, because I didn't get to see it in IMAX, and I always would see these things in IMAX because I do want to see the Odyssey as well, but can't get tickets for it. It's amazing. It's good for that film, but can't get tickets for the Odyssey. But as soon as Spider-Man's available in IMAX, I'm going to go see it again, and I'm very much looking forward to the second go around, because I have felt the last few Marvel movies, I'll watch it once and be like, I'm not sure if I liked it. And then when I watch it a second time, I'm like, oh, I actually really liked it. I think it's because I've like trying to hold back my expectations while watching it. I really liked Fantastic Four the second time around.
Yeah, it's
really
great.
liked it.
Second time around is better. It's so much better.
Thunderbolts, I loved. I liked it when I saw it, but I loved Thunderbolts the second time.
I haven't watched that second time, but I'm going to have to do that. So
great. I really, really enjoyed that. So I'm going to look forward to seeing that a second time. What's next? We've got more Star Trek next week and more X-Men.
More X-Men, Star Trek.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. We've got Star Trek, we've got X-Men. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else, but I'm sure we'll find something else. To be fair, X-Men and Star Trek, because it's the finale of X-Men we've got to talk about. So
that'll be that's 2 episodes to go, isn't it?
So that's
I know what we'll have to talk about.
Go on.
Ted Lasso returns next week, I think.
It does. You're right. So we've got Star Trek. We're going to have Star Trek. We're going to have X-Men, and we're going to have Ted Lasso.
It's a women's football team. It will never work.
And that is the end of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
No!
Yeah, that's exactly where we're going to end it. Matt, you don't get a chance to apologize for that. You're going to have to live with those words in, Matt, do you want to take a second to apologize for your words?
I'm so sorry. I thought it would be funny.
Okay. We're very much looking forward to new Ted Lasso. It does look amazing. And we will be talking about it on our next episode, as well as Strange New Worlds and X-Men 97, the finale. Let us know what you thought of everything. If you watched the first 2 episodes of Strange New Worlds, let us know in the comments below. Or if you're listening on a podcast, you can comment as well. Let us know if you've seen Brand New Day. Let us know what you thought of Brand New Day 2. Otherwise, if you've enjoyed the podcast, thank you so much for listening. If you were listening, or watching, if you were watching. If you're on YouTube and you're watching it, go ahead, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. That will really, really help us. We'd love to see some engagement on there. If you're listening in, thank you so much. If you are a first-time listener, well done on making it to the end. What we ask is that you just hit subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on so that you get an alert when your new episodes drop we try to be every 2 weeks. Sometimes life gets in the way.
Sometimes there's nothing to watch.
Sometimes there's nothing to watch. If you are a returning viewer, listener, thank you. We always appreciate you. You are the best. But yeah, we'll be back in a couple of weeks with all of that to talk about. We'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.